Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. Today I wanted to return to the topic of prayer. We have discussed prayer actually on several episodes, primarily through Neville Goddard, who discusses the secret of prayer and the art of prayer. Another interesting perspective on how to pray and the secret of prayer is Walter and Lau Russell, who wrote about it in their book, where they talk about prayer, how it's related to meditation, how to properly pray, and the misconceptions of prayer. If you are somebody that wants to manifest something in your world, that prays on a regular basis, this will really help you to understand the process of getting your prayers answered and praying. Russell begins by saying, "Let us unite in prayer." How familiar these words are on every religious occasion, and upon hearing them, the congregation automatically bows its head, bends its knees, and words come from the pulpit in earnest tones which may be superficially heard by some and hardly heard at all by others, while the very few who hear in their hearts are deeply stirred by the ardor of the supplication to God for forgiveness or mercy or blessings upon the congregation and various other human interests. Prayer is just meaningless words if not felt in the heart, just as music is no more than sound if it does not reach the soul. Prayer to God is a realization that the soul of man is one with the universal soul. It is not an appeal by man to God. It is a communion between the divine man to the divine God of man. As such, it is the mightiest of man's powers, but when prayer is but words, not coming from the soul, it is no more effectual than the hundreds of prayers written and distributed throughout the streets in Asia, or prayers written into a disc and whirled to repeat themselves by turning the prayer wheel swiftly. Worded and formal prayers issued periodically, like morning and evening prayers, prayers of thanks at meal times, and prayers on arising and retiring, become habits which people obey automatically. There may be great earnestness in them, or they may be none. The habit of praying periodically and with a sense of duty tends to automatic prayer rather than devotional. A silent prayer at mealtime brings more realization of God than wordy prayers half listened to. Those who thus pray might just as well not pray, for prayer is a union of soul, of man to soul of God, and words alone cannot make that union. Automatic, formal, and habitual praying for the lips alone, whether in one's chamber or in groups, is of no avail. Prayer based upon desire and uttered within the soul of man wordlessly, or by silent thought, will always command the whole universe to fulfill the desire. But words alone are not prayer, any more than paint is the art in a picture. When you pray to God, asking for all the things you want, enumerating them carefully, even to timing their arrival as your desired possessions, yea, even informing God as to what His method should be in giving them to you, detailing your business and family needs, never giving thought as to your worthiness to receive them, or whether it is wise to have them, or what you shall re-give to deserve them. You are but making yourself into your own selfish image, and not in the image of God's Spirit in you. You are thus telling God how He will serve you without thought of how you will be worthy of that service. When your child prays for a long list of birthdays or Christmas presents, ending with "God bless Papa," "God bless Mama," you tell the neighbors how cute that prayer is, and then buy everything the child wants to uphold its belief in prayer. It is not cute, it is tragic. It is helping the child build its own selfish image. It is also helping the whole world to build its own selfish, greedy image. It is helping to perpetuate this barbaric age of greed, selfishness, and fear of neighbor against neighbor. When will parents teach their children that they must give love for love given them? Not until they first know that they themselves must not ask to be given anything without a deep desire in their hearts for regiving love equally for love given. Parents who know that will say to the child, God will give you all you desire because he loves to give. But what you are planning to regive in love to God? You want God to show his love to you by giving you the things you want, but God wants love from you. The way you can show your love to God is to love all things which God puts on earth. When you ask God to bless Papa and Mama, you can help God bless them by getting Papa's slippers and helping Mama dry the dishes. That is the way you can be worthy of receiving all the things you ask for. When a mother prays to God to extend his loving protection to her son and keep him from harm in transit on stormy seas, she herself must extend her love equally to all other sons of all other mothers of earth, and to all things of God's creating. Her devout prayer can alone be answered that way. When she prays devoutly, no matter how deep her sincerity in asking love from her mother's heart, then turns angrily or impatiently upon her friend or neighbor or a servant in her house, she herself voids her own prayer as though it had never been uttered. When you ask God to bless your business and make it prosper, God will answer your prayer when you go out into your plant and bless all in it and make them prosper. When you regive to your helpers the love given you by God, it is God's love given to them by God through you. That is what is meant by manifesting God on earth. When you pray for God to show his love for you by giving your field good crops, you must yourself give your love to your field to regive his giving. Your love given to them is God's love given to you for regiving. Your love and God's love are one. Its manifestation is two in giving and regiving, but that two is the one heartbeat of God's body, even as the swinging of the pendulum is the two of the one source of their manifestation. If the farmer would but stand in the midst of the fields and pray, saying unto them, I love you, my green fields. I love every part of you, every grass blade, every root and herb and ear of ripening corn. I love every tree of you, each leaf of you which gives love in oxygen for nitrogen given you in love. I love the fruit of each tree of you, and the red gold you give to me in your luscious fruit for the love I have given to your roots. If the farmer would but pray that way deeply in his heart, he would prosper as his fields prospered with him, and he would know no fatigue, for love given is not work. And there would be a light in his eyes and an inner joyousness in his heart, which not but the manifestation of love given on earth as it is in heaven can ever give to man. Again, teach us how to pray. He who can say in his heart, I and my Father are one, and feel the ecstasy of that unity, is continually in prayer, even as he is continually in life and continually breathing. His prayer is like unto his inward-outward breath, which forever with him, forever vitalizing him. Every life should be a continuous mind communion with God. He who knows the light of love in him does not beseech the Father, Mother of the universe for his next breath, nor for his next heartbeat, for he fully knows that his heartbeat is one with the universal pulse, and that for which he would needlessly ask is already his. Therefore we say to you, when you ask of us, how shall I pray and when? We say to you, as you live and breathe continually, and as you are in life and love continually, so shall you be in prayer continuously. And as the air you breathe surrounds you abundantly, awaiting your need of it, so is that which you would ask for awaiting you in abundant supply, yea, even to overflowing fullness. And as there is not a time when God does not center you, nor an interval in which he does not control your balanced heartbeat to synchronize with his, so is there not a time when you should pray to him, and another time when you should not. And likewise, as there is not a time when the air you breathe is denied you, while you manifest your Father, Mother on this earth, So likewise there shall never come a time when that which you need to manifest him worthily shall be denied you. For we again say, you already have that for which you ask, even as you have love and life for which you have not asked. If there are times when you would like to put words to your desires to give them form, let not your words be from your lips, nor give voice to them. You cannot deceive God with empty words, as you deceive man. Say in your heart, when sorely perplexed, be thou thee in me, my Father, and know him as your very self. Your problem may be great, and your wisdom may be in doubt to yourself. If then you would say, Father, stand by, I deeply need thee. It might mean more in assurance to you, but to our Father it weighs not one whit more than saying it in your heart. So pray to him that way, if it comforts you to commune thus. If sleep will not come to you for heaviness regarding your dealings with a friend, write your questioning upon your heart with desire that love shall guide you. Then sleep in peace, and know that the answer will be written in balanced rhythms, where the question has been erased. Then let not the morrow pass without extending love to thy friend. And if your handiwork goes not to your liking, having too much of your earth self in it, sensing instead of knowing, liking and not loving, diverted by sounds of earth from hearing the silence of heaven, which borns them on earth, then we say, open wide the doors of your soul, and let God in to work with you. Rejoice then in your renewed ecstasy, as you again think your work knowingly with God, creating with his hands and yours as one. If a friend approaches you with a grievance, send love to open the door for him to you, and say within your heart, Father, let my words be thy words to him, not mine alone. Then weigh his grievance on the scales of love, and not let him depart unillumined by the light. Void his grievance with your love. In so doing, a great happiness will descend upon you. If you find your business slowly ebbing because you have perchance founded it afar from where you should have founded it, and you grieve because you have not the means to transfer it to that far state where you know it would thrive, we say to you, do not grieve, but rejoice that God has illumined you with the light of knowing what to do to balance your unbalanced beginning. In your rejoicing is your power to take the first step of that far journey, which will be followed by another and still another one, even as one breath forever follows another, until that far state is beneath your feet in answer to your prayer. Know, however, that all the prayers in all the world would have been as soft-blown winds on desert sands had you not re-given to your Father, even as he has given to you, by working with him, step by step, and breath by breath, to balance that given to you by him to manifest you on earth, with that which you give to manifest him in heaven. He who would become a music master and grieve because he has not the means to meet the years ahead, to so become already has the means to play his first note. And when that first note is played, he has the means to play the second one. Therefore, we say, he who takes the first gift from God and re-gives to him will find that first gift to be a trickling stream, a running brook, or mighty cataract of power, ever ready to give in measure of any man's ability to re-give equally. Again, we say God will work with you, but not for you. No one ever became a concert pianist by prayer without action, for that is wishful thinking, or by faith and belief without knowledge manifested. If you are low in spirits because of some fancied hurt, or have been too much alone and would balance your self-awareness with God-awareness, let your prayer be a desire for realization of your high place in God's universe. Say within your pulse beat wordlessly, I, my Father, am not alone, I. Thou, my Father, are I. Thou art in me, and I in thee. I am favored of thee, my Creator. I am of the inner mind. I know thy ecstasy. I am exalted in thee. I have all knowledge and all power. That which I desire to know or to have or to give is mine to know, to have, or to give. My dwelling place is in thy high heavens. Be thou thee in me, that I may be thee knowingly. I am in thy light, O my Father, enfold me ever in thy light, that I may not again feel the heaviness of the dark upon my heart. Dissolve thou my separateness and make me one with thee. Misconceptions of prayer. Realize therefore that prayer is not for the purpose of asking for something you wish to have. It is for the purpose of realizing that you already have what you have asked for. All power exists in the universe and is yours when you do your part in bringing it to you. You have health and a perfect body. It is eternal in you. What have you done to drive it away so that you now think you do not have it? What have you or your ancestors or loved ones done to destroy the perfection of your body or the seed of your body? Why do you now ask for health and a perfect body as though it was not already yours? What you did to destroy your health or your perfection, you must undo to attain the normalcy which is already yours and always has been. Whom are you blaming? You have lost anything, have you not gained its equivalent? Is not finding yourself worth a broken back? Balance and perfection are normal. They are primal cause. Imperfection is an effect of unbalance. Who and what caused your unbalanced effect? You still have perfection. Restore it by eliminating imperfection. Normalcy is the basis of abnormalcy, just as silence is the basis of sound. When sound ceases, silence reappears, but silence is. It has never ceased to be. Likewise, normalcy is. Stop abnormalcy and normalcy reappears. It has never ceased to be. When you pray to God for love because you are lonely and without love, God answers saying, you already have all the love of all the universe. Prove what I say to you by giving love out from you. You will find that all of the world loves you in the measure that you love the world. When you thus give love out from you to all the world, love will come to you from its far horizons. He who would pray for love and the companionship of many friends shall be given that for which he asks in the measure in which he gives love and friendship to others whom he befriends. And he who would feel the ecstasy of all the world at prayer with the God of nature should go out into nature's great cathedral of forest pines and oaks and join in that mighty prayer of running streams and babbling brooks and the singing of birds, the buzzing of bees, the droning of countless insects and hidden things that chirp and trill, and sing hosannas to God in his high heavens to gladden our hearts as we walk and talk with God. You who have read the book of early whisperings know that we mean by that, and how wonderful it is to pray to God with all of his creating things, which manifest him in love for the love he gives all things. When any man prays to you to fulfill his desire, as you do to your Father, know that he is praying to your Father, who is one with you. Even as God works with you to fulfill your desire, you should work with him who desireth aught of you to fulfill his desire. For as all men are one, so likewise are all desires of all men one. If he thus prays to you to help him fulfill an unbalanced desire, which is not love given and re-given equally, extend to him your love and balanced knowing, even as God whispers it always to the unhearing and unknowing. If he hears but he heeds not your counseling, do not condemn him or fail to watch over him until the light of your illumining has reached his heart, as it someday will, even as God watches over the unbalanced ones who have not yet learned to manifest love. Say to him within your heart what God says in his heart. All men will come to me in due time, but theirs is the agony of waiting. And be thou there waiting him with love when he has at least known love. And so it is in all ways of man, for we say that God is love, and love is all that is in God's kingdom of heaven, and the manifestation of love is all that is on earth. Man of earth does not yet know that, but he is beginning to know it through the cosmic man of the high heavens, who knows love in him and gives it to the world in the heavenly rhythms of the high heavens. The geniuses of the world manifest God's love and give it out from themselves to uplift the world by re-inspiring man of earth with the inspirations of heaven-born men. The love-inspired symphony is prayer for love fulfilled in the composer and again fulfilled in the hearts of those whose heartbeat feels the ecstasy of God's heartbeat as expressed in those heavenly rhythms. And so is all the art of all the world of prayer for love fulfilled in inspired cosmic man for regiving of love to the race of man. For art is beauty, without which man is not yet even human. The workman at his bench who gives beauty to his work re-gives the love which God has given him to all the world to uplift the world. Likewise, the housewife who puts love into her cooking enriches the food with God's love, which re-nourishes her family with love. Likewise, the butcher, the baker, and candlestick maker who re-give love for love given to them to manifest God in building his universe of love, with him also uplifts the world. And the mason gives love to his wall in the laying of each brick, which in turn reflects love's beauty to each passerby. Beauty thus given by the mason and reflected to man is the light of the kingdom of heaven extended to man for his illumining. The dawning transition of man. The new age of cosmic man which is now unfolding. The saving of mankind from self-suicide by the barbaric dealings of man with man is a transition from believers in a far-off God of fear, whom they fear, to knowers of a universal God of love, whom they love. Those cosmic ones who know God are the cosmic thinkers, inspired geniuses, and illumined mystics who know God within them and see God everywhere. These are the ones who down the ages have uplifted man gradually by bringing the beauty into the world, which has gradually given man his culture and his ethics. These are the ones who will unify mankind through their knowing to end this babble of tongues of many religions and bring into being the one religion of the one God of love. This now ending barbaric age is peopled with God-fearing men. The dawning cosmic age is to be peopled with God-loving men. The coming cosmic race of men will know that love is all there is in God nature, and that the expression or manifestation of love is all there is in the nature of the physical universe. It is our responsibility so to clarify the above statement that you will thoroughly understand the basis of what is called evil or bad, and it is your responsibility to teach it to others so that they will gradually comprehend that a universe which is founded upon balance cannot be unbalanced, or one founded upon good cannot be bad. As you become more and more illumined with the light of God's knowing, you will know that evil is a creation of man and has no existence in nature. When you understand how unbalance, which is the basis of the idea of evil, can seem to be overthrown, but can never succeed, and that good can seem to be overthrown to create that which we call bad, you will readily see how the race of man has made itself suffer through gross ignorance. Conversely, you will as readily see that the only way to conquer evil, bad, illness, failure, fear, worry, superstition, greed, selfishness, loneliness, grief, or even death itself is through cosmic knowledge of light, which gradually illumines the consciousness of man. You, who are readers and deep students of the message, are the seed of the coming cosmic age. You who know the message of the divine Iliad in your hearts know God's command to you, which it contains. Let us again read the part of the message that refers to the method which all must use in making the transition of man, which will bring love into the world. You will find it in the Book of Beauty, chapter 5, verses 5 to 18. Verily I say, the dawn of cosmic man is in its beginnings. Go therefore to all the world and sow the seed of thy knowing. Thou shalt sow the seed of thy knowing man in unfolding man's progression, and no rest shalt thou know until thou hast well fulfilled thy task. Through cosmic man the unity of man beginneth. Many are they who know me in them. Sow thy seed, the seed of beauty, love, and balance in them, and multiply thou them until their legions shall illumine the dark of man's barbaric ages with my omniscient light. Say thou to thine anointed ones these, my words: thou art love, thou art beauty, thou art balance. Go thou and give love, beauty, balance, and truth to thy neighbor. Think not thou of doing great works in my name. Go thou to thy neighbor. Think thou of thy neighbor alone. One seed sufficeth not for a meadow, but out of one seed cometh a sheaf of 10. As many sheaves of 10 filleth great granaries, even so will thy sheaves of 10 encompass the whole earth to bring into being the new age of cosmic man. Say thou these my words to thy neighbor. Go thou to 10 men who will believe on thee, and multiply thou them by 10, and vet another 10, until a legion shall be as a wall of granite beneath thy feet. Heed thou my commandings, and sow thou my seed of love, lest man destroy himself by his continued desires of earth, knowing not me in him. Be not neglectful of thine own tasks, my son. Leave not to others of lesser knowing that which thou shalt thyself must do. That which must be done for cosmic man to come must have thine own self in it. He who conceiveth must first unfold his concept. The mason layeth the stones of the master's thinking. Thou thyself must impart thy knowing in the light of thy anointing to cosmic man, who will build thy knowing and mine into balanced rhythmic forms with thee and me. And out of the knowing of thine anointed, legions of a new world of a unified man shall spring. For where thine anointed shall gather together to thus unify man through his knowing of the light of me in him, there shall I be in their midst, and they shall not fail. Just as we both giving our entire lives to sowing the seed of the cosmic age through you, which is our responsibility, we know that you will give great heed to the above words of our Father and realize they are addressed to you as your responsibility. These words you have just read and do not demand that you give up your whole life to help mankind make the transition. It simply means that you should live it and thus be an example to your neighbor. It means living it with your neighbor by making your dealings with him conform to the teachings of the message. When people are asked to work for most causes, it generally means to give up something or make some sacrifice to do it. This requirement of our Father reverses that thought, for if you actually practice the love principle of first giving, you will find that you have not sacrificed anything. Instead of that, you will have enriched your life in every respect. Sacrifice gains you not, nor helps another, and very often hurts. If you give with love, you have not sacrificed, for love will be regiven to you in equal measure. If you could keep this most important working thought of life before you always, and put that thought into every dealing you have with everyone, your patient, your client, the man you're selling or buying from, your servant, and your neighbor, you would soon find yourself in a very different kind of world of your own making for yourself and for all mankind. The most important thought is the God of love is all there is in the kingdom of heaven, and the manifestation of love is all there is on earth. So this is a really good collection of some different examples and stories written by Walter and Lau Russell on the concept of prayer. The real different aspect of Walter and Lau Russell's philosophy is that you will get only what you give. So when you start to give love, you start to have love come back to you. It's never given and it's not returned. It's a big part of their philosophy and belief. But they're basing it on the actual physics of light and the way that it works. So if you want to give something, you'll get it back. And so the real power of prayer is being in the moment, in ecstasy, aware of this God power, and constantly trying to give love as much as you can. And the things that you desire in your heart will start coming to you because they will be reflected by what you have given. The world around us is this big mirror. It's a big three-dimensional mirror, and it's a mirror world that we live in. It is not an exact reflection. It is a reflection of the energy and what you give, not in just what you do. So this is powerful. We'll definitely return to Walter Russell and their story of how they awoke. That is pretty fascinating, and their concept of reincarnation as well. In any case, Let me know if you want me to continue reading the Walter and Lau Russell stuff. There's a bunch of it, and I might skip some of the more boring stuff, but I have found some really powerful messages in their trainings that I wanted to share with you. In any case, all episodes of The Reality Revolution can be found at therealityrevolution.com. And welcome to The Reality Revolution.